Okay, guys. These ones are pretty tough. There's a few skills involved here. Okay, so I'm gonna look at this problem on the left. X plus 2y equals 18. Okay, this one says I'm looking for an equation of a line that passes through this point, 8, -7, and is parallel. So parallel is gonna have the same slope. Same slope. Not same. Okay, so I need to steal the slope from this line because it's gonna have the same slope because parallel lines have the same slope. And then I need to write an equation using that slope that goes through that point. Okay, here's how you can do it. First, I'm gonna show you the long way, then I'll give you a shortcut. All right, so this line is in standard form. If I turn it back into y equals mx plus b, then it'll be really easy to see the slope. So I'm gonna take the x and throw it over to the other side. And whenever I do that, I can do that easily. I just have to switch the sign. So it's positive and I'm gonna switch it to negative. So just with one little move, we're getting close to what our normal graphing equations look like, but y has to be all by itself. So I'm gonna divide by 2. I'm gonna divide everything by 2. So now y equals -1/2, right? There's a 1 up there. -1/2 x plus 9. So I can see that this equation actually has a slope of -1/2. So the only thing that I want to do really is steal the slope because I need a line that's parallel to that line. So I'm gonna steal the slope. So now I have a slope of -1/2 and I need it to go through this point. Now we did this earlier in the year, but I would say there's 0% chance of you remembering point slope. There's a cool thing you can do. Whenever you know a point and exactly what we're doing right now, you know a point and you know the slope, we can use point slope form. Here's point slope form. It's different than this, but it works out the same. Okay, you say y minus, and you minus whatever the y is. So right now it's y minus -7, but if you minus -7, you're actually adding 7. Okay, so you subtract this, y minus the y. Then you take your slope and just throw it in there, -1/2. Then you take the x minus the x. And in this case, the x is 8. And there is your equation. The y minus the y, then the slope, then the x minus the x. So you can see like it's always the opposite, right? I need the point to go through +8 and -7. And kind of down here you see -8 and +7 because we're subtracting. So it makes them opposite. But there we go. So we stole the slope from the first equation and used it there. That's all we needed. Now, instead of having to do all of this and rearrange, there is a shortcut that you might forget in the future. So as long as you know how to rearrange, you'll always be able to find the -1/2. But in this form, right here, there's a 1, right? You just take the first two numbers. The slope for this line is going to be 1/2, but just make it negative. So you take whatever the first number is, you put the second number on bottom, and you just switch the sign. So if it was negative, you make it positive. If it's positive, you make it negative. But if you don't remember how to do that, then you can just do it this way. So I'll go to the next one and do the same thing. Okay, here we go. Write an equation of the line that's parallel. Let me find a perpendicular. Parallel, parallel, parallel. Are these only parallels? Perpendicular, there we go. Okay, so I'm gonna look at the first line, 6x plus 5y equals 30. If I know the shortcut, I know this. I can just take the first number and the second number, put them over each other and make it negative, and the slope of that line is -6/5. If I didn't know how to do that, then I'm just gonna take the 6x and throw it over there and say 5y equals -6x plus 30. I'm gonna divide by 5, and it turns out y equals -6/5 x plus 6. Either way, I'm just stealing the slope. I just want to know it's perpendicular to this line. Perpendicular is opposite as you can possibly get to parallel. So we're going to take my slope and I'm going to change it as much as I possibly can. I'm going to turn it upside down and I'm going to switch it from negative to positive. So if it was parallel, I would use that. I would use -6/5, but perpendicular, I'm going to use +5/6. So that's all I need from that. I just need to steal that slope. So I'm going to steal 5/6, and I need this to go through -6, -7. So I'm just going to use my point slope. So if I know a point and I've got a slope, I can just do the y minus the y, so y minus negative 7 is really y plus 7, equals, I throw in the slope I need to use, the 5/6, and then I'm going to say x minus the x, which is negative 6, so x plus 6. And there's I just created an equation of a line that has this particular slope that goes through that particular point. I'll do one more. Let's add a page. No, I'll just erase. Okay, one more. Perpendicular to 4x plus 5y equals 25. If I know the shortcut, I know the slope of this line is 4/5, but make it negative, like switch the sign. So I know the slope of this line is negative 4/5. If I didn't know, the long way would be 5y equals negative 4x plus 25, then divide by 5 everywhere, and y equals negative 4/5 x plus 5. So I'm just stealing this 4/5, but I need perpendicular. So I'm going to I don't want the same slope as this line. I want as backwards as I can get. I'm going to turn it upside down, and I'm going to make it positive. So I'm stealing this guy, and I need it to go through negative 4, negative 6. So y minus negative 6 is y plus 6 equals, I'm going to steal my perpendicular slope and put it right there. And I'm going to, x minus negative 4 is actually x plus 4. And there's mine right there. So there's 3 things you have to know. You need to know how to steal a slope. You need to know either parallel, keep the same slope, or perpendicular, make it as upside down and opposite. And then you need to know how, if you have those 2 things, how you can put it in an equation. All right, let me know if you need more help, but there we go.